Hey everyone, it's Green-Eyed Guide, your guide to the science behind caffeine and energy drinks. This month, our focus is on the science behind caffeine and cognition. When people ask the wisdom of the internet, what do I drink when I'm playing video games in a competitive environment? Usually the response is drink Bang, it has lots of caffeine. But is caffeine the only thing you need? And I can answer that, but there's so much science. So in order to keep this video under an hour, I'm going to focus on 3 specific drinks: Rain, Bang, and Game Fuel. So there's timestamps below if you want to skip around to the part that interests you most. By the way, if you want to know how any of these taste, I recommend going over to Caffeine Man's channel. He actually tastes these beverages and does a good job of explaining what's in them and what they taste like. I'm the science person and I suck at tasting. In high school, I always felt really bad about falling asleep in class. Like, I always wanted to go up to the teacher afterwards and be like, "It's not you, it's me. You're not boring. I just have a lot of stuff going on in my life right now." Whether it's our grades or our jobs on the line, the weight of that importance is sometimes no match for the weight of our eyelids. But being awake and being alert isn't exactly the same thing. There's an overlap, but it's not the same thing. Just like hearing and listening are similar, but not the same thing. When my husband tells me about the stats of the gear he picked up in the division, I can hear him. By the way, do you have a favorite game? Drop it in the comments below. It doesn't have to be a video game. It can be Scrabble, whatever. Drop it in the comments below and remember to hit that subscribe button. New videos every Wednesday. Hearing is not the same as listening, and being awake isn't the same thing as being alert. If you're a gamer, you want both. And if you're a gamer like me, you also want the ability to go straight without hitting walls. This is why my husband and I can't play games together. So today, instead of trying to answer all of the science behind caffeine and cognition, I'm going to focus on these 3 beverages. What's in them and which of these 3 might make the best game fuel. Sorry, bad pun. In Game Fuel, we have 90 milligrams of caffeine per can and 23 grams of total sugar. The ingredients are carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, white grape juice concentrate, citric acid, natural and artificial flavors, sodium phosphates to protect flavor, L-theanine, gum arabic, sodium benzoate, which preserves freshness, caffeine, ACE-K, sucralose, glycerol ester of rosin, calcium disodium EDTA to protect flavor, niacinamide, which is a B vitamin, Panax ginseng root extract, sucrose acetate isobutyrate, calcium pantothenate, which is a B vitamin, blue 1 yerba mate extract, beta-carotene, vitamin A, pyridoxine hydrochloride, which is a B vitamin, and glucuronolactone. Just kidding, that was for you, Caffeine Man. In Bang and in Rain, we have more caffeine per can than what's in Game Fuel. In Bang and in Rain, no sugar. Ingredients of Bang are carbonated water, citric acid, natural flavors, caffeine anhydrous, sodium benzoate, potassium citrate monohydrate, sucralose L-leucine, that's one of the BCAAs, potassium phosphate dibasic, vitamin C, ACE-K, potassium sorbate, magnesium chloride, supercreatine, L-isoleucine, L-valine, BCAAs, calcium chloride, calcium disodium EDTA, vitamin B3, CoQ10, vitamin B6, and vitamin B12. In Rain, we have carbonated water, citric acid, natural flavors, sodium citrate, L-leucine, BCAA, caffeine, L-isoleucine, L-valine, BCAA, sucralose, potassium sorbate, potassium citrate, sodium benzoate, niacinamide, magnesium citrate, CoQ10, pyridoxine hydrochloride, and cyanocobalamin, which is vitamin B12. It's close to midnight. My baby's asleep. We're going to get through this. Game Fuel is specifically designed for gaming, and they're talking about video games, virtual games. I don't know if they're technically video games anymore, but this drink is designed for gamers. It says so right on their website. On the can of Game Fuel, it says, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel is specially crafted to give you the boost you need with ingredients shown to improve accuracy and alertness. Asterisk. The asterisk says, see GameFuel.com for details. And so I did. On the Game Fuel website, there is a section about accuracy and alertness, where it says, formulated with ingredients to give you the boost you need. There are no references or links to the studies, but it says, according to studies, caffeine in combination with theanine has been shown to improve accuracy and alertness. Accuracy refers to the state of being correct or precise. In some studies, people who consumed caffeine and theanine had improved accuracy on an attention switching task, the ability to switch back and forth between different task sets, and reported increased alertness. In another study, people who consumed caffeine and theanine improved on a computer task that measured how accurately the participants responded to targets and did not respond to non-targets. Have you ever read the words in one study and gotten excited because you know exactly what study they're talking about? No? Just me? Okay. This is actually a study that I read and I wrote all about it on my website. So, the bottom line here is that caffeine and theanine improve attention task switching. Caffeine increases attention on big picture, global processing bias. Theanine improves focus on local processing bias, the details. And both of them improve our executive control network, our ability to separate the signal from the noise. These are all the things that Game Fuel is referring to on their website and on their can. So what about the other energy drinks? Well, in Rain and in Bang, there's not enough BCAAs to make a difference for your cognition or your focus. You need at least 5 grams to make a difference. There's not enough CoQ10 either. You need at least 90 milligrams. How do I know how much is in these things? Well, if you look at where in the ingredient list something appears, you can kind of figure out the amount. So, for example, I know that there's 300 milligrams of caffeine in Bang, which means things that come after caffeine in the ingredient list are less than 300 milligrams. You have to list ingredients in the order of weight or the order of predominance. So even when an energy drink doesn't tell you the amounts of some things, you can kind of suss it out based on the amounts that you do know and the order in the ingredient list. Okay, so BCAAs don't help. CoQ10 doesn't help. What about vitamins? Well, a deficiency in B vitamins leads to confusion, memory loss, and reduced attention. Please don't use energy drinks as your primary source of vitamins. Okay, well, what about the caffeine? Game Fuel has less caffeine than Bang or Rain. So what does caffeine do? How does caffeine help you focus? Caffeine helps you focus in 2 ways. Obviously, it's easier to focus when you're awake, but also caffeine enhances dopamine signaling in the brain. I wrote about this one too, so hang on. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a chemical that sends signals to nerve cells. It helps me to think of neurotransmitters as the owls in Harry Potter that deliver messages. Caffeine enhances dopamine signaling, which means lots of messages. The key takeaway here is that every body is different. I've given you the science behind why an energy drink with caffeine and theanine might help you more than an energy drink with just caffeine, but I've only given you 1% of the science. There's so much more. I encourage you to try different energy drinks. Maybe for you specifically, something with caffeine and theanine works better for you than something with a lot of caffeine and no theanine. Your results may vary, so it's important that you test. Let me know what you use when you're trying to focus on finals or gaming or something else important. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching and subscribing and commenting and sharing. You can follow GreenEyedGuide on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter, even though I don't really check that anymore. Next week, we'll talk about more of the science behind caffeine and cognition. There's so much more information here, you guys, and all of it will help you use caffeine to focus on what you're trying to do. Till next time, I'm GreenEyedGuide, your guide to the science behind caffeine and energy drinks. Take care.